What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're checking back in. We got the AT&T Byron Nelson breakdown. I'm here with my guy Teaser Nation. How are we doing tonight, Teaser?
I'm good, man. We're coming off a solid week at the Wells Fargo. No outrights, but hit a couple top 40s. Ryan Armour at plus 250. That was a good hit. It was close all the way till the end. The weather kind of almost ruined things, but my guys hung in there. We got the top 20 machine, Cam Young. It's just easy money every time he tees it up.
That's been your guy.
Been on him. I followed him Sunday when I was there. Answer he went 10 over on the weekend. That was a little upsetting. I'm getting a little frustrated with him. He's not playing that well this year, which is kind of annoying because I know he's really talented, but I don't know kind of what's going on. Brian Harmon, top 40 was a good hit, and then I'm not even going to start with Joel Damon. Had him top 40. The guy's in the first place at 9 under on Friday, and he ends at like 7 over for the tournament. So it's just like didn't have a birdie in 43 hole stretch. So it's just what are you going to do? The weather kind of messed. When he sees rain, he just sucks. So
yeah.
That's how my card went. But
Teaser texted me. He was like, "Man, what about Joel Dahman, first round leader?" And then Jason Day came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, oh, we got Answer. Oh, we got Dahman. They're up there. They'll be good for the rest of the weekend. And they just completely shit down their leg.
Just blows up. Yeah.
Ends up being a shit weekend. The only thing I could kind of tip my cap to was my Gary Woodland fade. He missed the cut. It was like plus 275. That's the last thing I recommended on the stream. So that was probably pretty much the only thing that I could tip my cap on for last week. But last week is last week. We will go forward into the Byron Nelson breakdown. We will give out our outrights, our top 20s, and top 40s. And then if you guys have any comments or questions, throw them in the chat. And then we will go through DFS. So we should probably be here until about 8 or 9 Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Time. So let us know if you guys have any questions, and we'll jump right into it. How are we feeling this week with our outrights?
Yeah, I guess I'll just do a little course overview. I think they've started using this, a year or two ago, Craig Ranch. So I think it's 7,400 yards, par 72. So it's a pretty big course, although it's really easy. This is going to be a complete birdie fest. The winner will probably be in the 20s, I would say. I'm assuming probably 21, 22 under will be the winner, I think. So basically this week, the goal is kind of to target guys who make birdies in bunches, birdies on opportunities gained. So I put that in the model, as we'll see later. It's an easy second shot course on one of the easiest on tour. It's very easy off the tee as well. There's not much trouble out there. So off the tee really isn't important. So we're going to kind of target guys who are, usually sprayed around off the tee that can play well here. And then so some course comps, PGA West and La Quinta. That's more of it's not a resort course, but it's really open around the fairways there. And then so the key stats, if we want to hop in the model, and I'll get to the outrights now. I'm going to look at birdies are better gained, because you kind of got to need to make those in bunches this week if you're going to keep up with the leaders. I'm looking at stroke gain approach. That's going to be every week heavily favored. And then proximity 200 plus, which I accidentally put in there, is supposed to be par 3s 200 plus, but same thing, or not the same thing, but it can be looked at as the same thing. Strokes gain putting as well, 5% there. Just kind of see where people are at with that. And then strokes gain total. So that takes into account everything. So I'm going to start off my outrights. I'm playing 4 this week. I may live one guy. I didn't really add him on the card yet. I'm just going to see how it plays out. But I'm going to start with Justin Thomas. I saw everyone got him 15-1, which I have no clue how, because the best I had, I got 12-1 on one site, and I was seeing 9 everywhere else. So I don't know where 15 came from, but I took 12, which I thought was a great number on him. I think obviously he's trending very well. I keep saying he's due for a win, so he's got to have one here eventually. He's just that good of a player. He ranks first in the model, as you can see here. Obviously, he's usually going to be up there every week. So that's no surprise. First in stroke gain approach, second in birdies gained. So that's a good stat to look at. And then 7th in par 5 scoring, which will also be important this week, There's 4 par 5s, and they're very gettable. So it's just a matter of how he putts. Really, he does decent on bent grass, honestly. So I do like him this week. So that's where I'm starting the card. This guy, who obviously I've made it clear I'm not really a big fan of, this second guy, Sam Burns, at 20-1. I'm gonna play him this week. I can't really, even though I'm not a fan of him. I don't even know why. It's just this is his course. Like, he's literally a birdie fest type of guy. I've mentioned how bad he is on tough courses, and I want to see him do it in majors, which he didn't in the Masters. So he'll have the PGA next week to prove me wrong. But came here second last year. This is a perfect course for him. I think he gained 12 strokes here total last year. Ranks third in the model. He'll always be up there as well. He loves easy conditions. And he's also top 5 in birdies, gained or better, and par 5 scoring. So those are 2 key stats. A third guy who I actually don't really bet often, Taylor Gooch, 50-1. I don't know why. I usually stay away from him. He always kind of tricks me. I don't know where he's at sometimes, but he's 5th in the model this week. He is top 10 in strokes gain approach, strokes gain total, and proximity 200 plus. So I think he kind of fits his narrative into the birdie fest as well. I do think he'll be able to keep up there. I like the number. I got 50-1. I was seeing 40 somewhere else, which I probably wouldn't take, honestly. That value is pretty important there. So I think 50 on him is a great number. So I'm going to go with him as well. And then kind of a long shot. I just did this for value. I never think Tom Hoagy should be at 110-1. I don't ever think he should be at 101 or more, to be honest. I think there's a lot of value there. He's a high caliber player. He's kind of shown it this year with a win at Pebble Beach, which I got 66-1 on him there. He's a great iron player. Par 3s, 200 plus. I think he's top 5 on tour. And yeah, that's really my outright value play of the week. I do think he could potentially win here. So those are my outrights.
You said Hoagy. Hoagy is your big dog at 110.
Yeah, man, I don't get that number, but I like them. Yeah.
I like those. And Burns and Thomas, you're playing DFS. Those are going to be your staples. You're going to have a lot of Zalatoris, a lot of Thomas, a lot of Burns, and obviously Scheffler, one of the hottest guys in golf we've ever seen in golf right now. But my outrights, we're going to go with Hideki Matsuyama. I'm basically going off of his approach game. He's an okay distance driver, but you throw him in his approach. He's top 10-ish. He's right there, and he's been able to. Obviously, if you watch golf, the staple for the longest time. If he gets hot, and he can definitely run away with this thing. But he ranks. What was he at? Top 8 in the model this week. Not a lot of people are talking about Hideki this week, so I think he can fly under the radar. You get good value here at 28-1. And then the young gun, I'm going to go with Joaquin Niemann at 35-1. I really like the way he played at the Masters, even though I think he faded towards the end there. But I think he can put it all together before the major. Maybe a guy that kind of wants to iron everything out for the PGA and gets going. So I really like the number at 35-1. And then Keith Mitchell, more of like a dark play there at 75-1. Just a bunch of value. I think he fits his course fairly decently, and I can see him shooting up the leaderboard if he's obviously making some putts. Obviously, all these guys got to make putts because it's damn golf, and the putting is so damn variant. It's variant based, but I really like these guys. So we got the outrights scrolling at the bottom there. Let us know in the comments if you guys are tailing on any of them, if you guys are fading them, or who you guys are on yourselves that we might be missing. So. Let us know in the comments there, and we'll go right into our top 20. Who are you on this week? Actually, the funny thing about this top 20, we were talking before the show, and I was like, hey, Teaser, give it, what's your card? Boom, spit out the exact same top 20 as me. So this is pretty insane. So we'll tag team this one.
Yeah. So I'll explain, I guess, my point of view on why I'm taking them if you want to chime in on anything, but we both talked about Sam Burns. We're starting there at plus 130. I think that's pretty simple. Plus 130 is actually kind of a steal, I think. I think he should be I would say minus 110 or worse. So I think plus 130 is a really great number on that. I think that's going to be a pretty easy cash. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. I've never said that about a top 20, but I think that's going to be fairly easy the way he plays these type of courses.
I couldn't believe he was plus money. That's why.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think so. For me, my perspective, I don't like to take minus bets for top 20, so I never would have took him there. But plus 130 on Monday jumped right out. I think he's still like plus 120 if you can get him now there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it just doesn't make sense because Adam Scott's plus 100 for top 20, which is just a little confusing to me. So I'll take the plus 130 all day. My second one, top 20 is one of your outrights, Neiman at plus 160. I agree with you there. I think he's going to I do think he fits his course. He's a great iron player. He can just make some putts. He looked great at the Masters. He's coming great into form. I think he played decent. He won the Genesis this year, obviously, so he played decent there, I would say. But, yeah, he's all across the board. Par 5 scoring, 33rd on my model. Really the thing that stands out is the 90th in putting, which is obviously a variance. So I think if he putts well this week, it'll give him a chance to cash that. Another top 20, Taylor Gooch. I kind of talked to him briefly. Plus 190, I love that value there. I think it should be more in the plus 160, 50 range, but I already kind of talked about him, so we can just skip right over to Maverick McNealy at plus 200. I'm rounded out there. I'm a big fan of McNealy for a couple of years now. I think he's going to get his win here eventually. He's got a lot of talent. Like I said, one thing I'm really looking at this week is guys who can make birdies in bunches, and he's 7th in my model in that. Birdies are better gains, so he can go 7 under at a flick of the wrist, So some guys, struggle to kind of go low, but strokes gains par 5, he's 2nd on the model. Strokes gains par 4, I also threw in there. He's pretty decent. Honestly, around the board, he's 14th in the model overall, but he's not really lacking in anything. He's a pretty good putter. Driving distance, he's probably middle of the field. So, yeah, I like him this week to round out my top 20s, if you want to add anything to our same ones there.
No, I picked him for mainly similar reasons there. McNealy at plus 210, or what did we get? You got plus 200. I think he's plus 210 right now.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. He's going to be up there. He plays this course fairly well. Same with Burns. Burns is I think Burns got top, or he won it. He won it last week.
He came second last week. Last year.
Second last week. Yeah.
KH Lee won it. Yeah.
KH Lee won it. Yeah. But no, Burns, McNealy, Gooch, tremendous value here, and we could be completely off, but I don't see how we are. It's extreme value, and I think these are pretty good numbers for us to get here at top 20. So that will lead us right to the top 40. What do you got there?
Yeah. And just chiming in on what you were saying, like obviously we're not going to go 4 for 4 in top 20s, but if we go 50%, 2 for 4, we're having a pretty good, you know what I mean? So we're just kind of like, if anyone new to, golf betting, obviously you don't want to like pick a losing bet, but we're not really necessarily trying for 4 out of 4, like we're not, like hoping for that, like maybe 2 out of 3, 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4, and you're in the green there. So that's kind of what we're aiming for with the plus 200s and stuff like that. So, top 40. I'm just going to start with McNealy there, plus 105. Already talked about him. Keith Mitchell, one of your outrights as well at plus 100. I'm a big top 40 guy because if they make it to the weekend, you got a great chance. So I'm always going to take a plus 100 top 40 on a guy like Keith Mitchell or McNealy who can go low, put themselves in contention on a Thursday and just ride that top 40 all the way. Unless you're Joel Damon, I'm just going to hold that against them for a couple weeks.
Screw that guy.
Yeah, so I'm going Mitchell McNealy there. Obviously, I'm going to have to throw in Mr. TPC KH Lee plus 130. Last week, it was no surprise, TPC Potomac. He was up there. He made the weekend. So it's just something, man, with these TPC courses. He loves them. So that's really that's my thing. I always got to throw KH Lee in a TPC course. I forgot to last week, but this week I'm not missing him. Obviously, he won here last year. He's not going to repeat. I know that for a fact. But, a top 40 is pretty safe. Plus 130 is a good price on him. And then I'm going to round it off with Adam Hadwin at plus 110, I think. He is actually 8th in the model. So,
Yep.
yeah, he's top 10 strokes gain approach. Obviously, he's always been good at that throughout his career. Birdies are better gained. He's top 25 strokes gain total, top 10. Only thing he's really, bottom of the field in is driving distance, which is okay. I'm not really looking at that. I only was looking at driving distance just for the guys who do hit it long, just to say like this Cam Champ, I'm okay playing him this week because it's more of a open course. So because he kind of sprays it around at times, so it's not going to hurt him this week. And then so Hadwin's going to round out my top 40 there at plus 110.
Sweet. And I'll round it out here. Add 3 of mine, as you guys can see at the bottom of the screen here. Gazire, Kitayama, and Riley. I think Kitayama has incredible value here at plus 170. You can even take his top 20. He's going to be very heavily owned for me in DFS. He has been playing exceptionally as of late. Let's see what he's done.
Oh, you said Kitayama?
Kitayama, yeah.
Yeah, man. He's
gotten second at the Mexico Open and then 15th at the Wells Fargo. So I mean, he's
last week, yeah.
Yeah, he was. He's in very, very good form, and I think he's got a chance to get top 20. But I'm going to go safe route as I always do in golf, and I'm going to go top 40 plus 170. That'll be for a full unit as well. And then Gazire, he loves this course. He's just a wide open. He can just hit the damn ball a mile. And as long as his putter is somewhat on, I don't see why he wouldn't be up there. Definitely make the cut. He's had pretty good form besides the Texas Open. He 10th at the Phoenix Open, 61st, 32nd, 22nd, 33rd, miscut, and then the 26th at the Heritage, back in April. So he hasn't played in a little bit. So we'll see where he comes back into form here. But I do like the way Gazire forms on this course. I think he got second or third last time that they played here. I think last year as well. So then Davis Riley, another young guy it's kind of like Cameron Young this year, where you're just like constantly playing this guy because he's just done that well. And I know it's minus 110. I did have Hudson Swafford circled for this position, but I'm just going to keep him more of in the DFS lane and go Davis Riley, Gazire, and Kitayama for the top 40. So let us know in the comments, you guys, if you guys have any questions, concerns, who we're fading, who we're on. Let us know. But yeah, so we'll go through our first segment here. Who's the guy who out of the top 4? We'll go that route because there's 4 legit guys at the top that are garnering over 25% ownership in DFS. And you can say betting, say DFS. Which one of the 4 are you going to fade here? So it's either going to be Zalatoris, not going to be Burns, I'd assume. Burns, no. Thomas, or Scheffler. One of those 4 have to go.
Jesus. I mean, considering I'm on Thomas and Burns, that cancels out them. Oh, man. So it's
you already know my answer.
Oh, fuck. I don't want to fade Scheffler. Oh, man. I don't. See, I'm just going to go with Zalatoris just because everyone is on him on Twitter. I'm going to. Maybe he's not going to make a putt this week. He's not going to make one single putt. That's my prediction. I'm telling you, he's not going to make anything over 20 feet. I'm telling you, it's just when he gets chalked up, it's something with him. So I could be dead wrong. I'm just going to stay off him. I was always on him last year. He made me a lot of money last year, but I'm kind of off him now. It's going to be the same with Cam Young whenever everyone's starting to get on him now. His price still there, but Will Zalatoris, you see that price dropping. So it's got to be me for him. Is it Scheffler for you? Or?
Oh, you already know I was going right there.
Yeah.
I have too much Burns exposure in DFS. I have too much Zalatoris exposure. I have some Thomas, but I've had very, very few, if any, of Scheffler. The main reason is just the hangover effect. If anybody watched the stream for the Masters, I'd said to fade Scheffler, and he absolutely dominated. So I'm just going to keep fading him, and maybe he ends up as the cut eventually. It's tough to fade, trust me. But the value in the betting market is not there for outright. Maybe you can catch him live, but he's going to be over 20-something% owned in DraftKings. And it's just like, I'm just going to lay off him. He's just going to be a popular play that I'm hoping that he just ends up being a fade for me. I see some guys for the double digits, or single digits that I like a little bit more. So, yeah, these are the DFS chalk at the bottom here. Zalatoris, Burns, Thomas, and Scheffler. So I'm going to fade Scheffler, and Teaser's going to fade Zalatoris if we had to. If we absolutely had to out of this four.
Yeah, I'll go with that. And then I guess I don't know if Zalatoris will be my fade of the week. I think my fade of the week would be man. I guess I'll stick with him, honestly. I'll be bold because everyone's on him. I could be dead wrong. I don't know if I want him to even play bad because, I like the guy, so I want him to see him do well, but I won't be on him at all. So, I don't know.
Who I wanted to be my fade before I saw his numbers, ownership projections and stuff, it was going to be Dustin Johnson. I was going to fade him completely.
Oh, yeah.
But he just screams to me in DFS. Just absolutely screams to me. So he's at 11% owned, 10%, 11%, whatever site you're on. I'm looking at DraftKings, but man, that's a steal. A guy that can hit it as far as he can. When he's on, obviously he's on. Let's see how the putter's going this week. But I wanted to fade him. I'm ultimately back on him. Then I'm also on for the value play here. I'll throw those up at the bottom. If you guys haven't followed the stream, Seamus Power has been my guy. Teaser's guy has been Cameron Young.
Yeah.
We've been kind of piggybacking those guys. And Seamus has done better as of late. Let's see what he's done. He's got a 33rd, a 27th at the Masters, and then he missed the cut at Wells Fargo. So he's coming off of a missed cut. But I do like the way his game rounds out at this course. Maybe he goes back to how he did it in the early stages, with 15, the third at the Sony, top 20 at the American, and then top 10.
He was killing it.
So he was killing it. So we're going to hope he goes back to that. And then probably a very, very tough decision because they're very, very close players. We talked in our Discord about that. What are you doing this week with Cameron Champ or Matt Wolff?
Yeah, we were talking about that. I'm definitely going to go Cam Champ. I watched a lot of Wolff like Saturday, I think it was, when it was raining. I was there Saturday, and he played, I don't even know how he got the top 20 last week, but he kind of, I guess he likes tough conditions, honestly, because he played well at the U.S. Open a couple years ago when Bryson beat him out the final round. But, it's weird stuff. Like, he'll have a layup hole, like a par 4, 350 yards. He'll take hybrid, and I was watching him on the fairway. He almost hit me, 30 yards right of the fairway. And, it's stuff like that. He's not there. You know what I mean? So
right.
I know there's a lot of leeway off the tee here, but he's just not – he's not very, in tune to his game, his approach shot. There's a little miss here and there. You can't have double bogey. If he has a double bogey this week, you just can't have that at this course. You know what I mean? So, obviously, Champ can have that too. I would prefer Champ because he played well at the Mexico Open. It's kind of a, not a comp course, but it's kind of the same. So, I think I would say he's more in better shape, to be honest.
I agree 1,000% here. I think Champ is so much better than what he's played this year. And if he's just getting started to get into form, you saw it. Did he have was he the leader after the third round? And then he had a shitty Sunday?
He was a stroke behind. Yeah, he had a bad Sunday. Yeah, on Mexico. He also plays well at the Masters every year, which is weird, but
yeah. So I'm leaning Champ over Wolff here. Wolff's just he's battled through a bunch of stuff mentally this year, and maybe he's put it all together. But maybe I got to just see one more turn.
Yeah, gotta see a lot more. And he always says he's just. You never know where he's at mentally. He says he's just trying to have fun out there, but maybe he could be downplaying it. Who knows, man? He's just you can't. I just want to see more Like that's a guy I'm not going to be mad if he goes out in top 20s and I miss him because I want to see the consistency. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's kind of a shot in the dark right now. So I don't know. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to see him get back to playing better golf. So we'll see.
Yeah, and like I said, so these are all value plays at the bottom here. Scrolling, these are guys that are under 10% currently for DraftKings for DFS, and then I'll have a lot of these guys kind of mix and matching with some of those guys at top with Zalatoris, with Burns, with Thomas, with DJ, with Hideki. So you're and Neiman. So you're gonna have a bunch of guys like that mixing in, and then these guys you sprinkle in because these guys are the sleeper picks, and we'll go with Fratelli, Riley, Stewart, and Sabatini. These guys could miss the cut. These guys could go top 10, top 20. Yeah. You're hoping these guys hit top 40 or top 20 for value. And then if you get one of these guys, these guys are going to be sub 5% owned. Some of them are sub 2% owned. So if you're playing high risk DFS, you guys can take a shot with any of these four down here. These are what I would recommend. There are a few others, but these are the ones that pop for me and that I'll play myself.
So yeah, Fratelli's that's like the Texas narrative. I think he went to school there, right? I think he went to Texas. I'm pretty sure he usually plays well in Texas. I never back Fratelli because he's so inconsistent, but I don't hate that at that price. So yeah, I would say Fratelli's really just because the Texas narrative. He usually plays well and feels at home there. So
I would say the same thing with Sabatini. It's not Sabatini, but he plays well there. I don't think he's from around the area, but I think and then Stewart and like I said before, I was on Riley for his top 40, so I'm tying those two together and going to see from there. But what do we want to give out a crazy top 40 to end the stream like last time, or a first round leader?
Yeah, we'll do both. Let me look at a top 40. We're gonna go plus 200 or better, right? Yeah, we'll do that. So if I'm looking at the board here,
I'm gonna cheat from what I had earlier.
Yeah. Okay? Fratelli's only plus 140. I thought he would be. Whew, this is just getting weird here. Oh wow. I'm gonna just do it because I'm gonna go Harry Higgs 3-1 top 40.
Harry Higgs 3-1 top 40. Love it. I'm gonna go with my guy. I'm gonna go Hudson Swafford. I had him on my card originally. I said screw it, but plus 230, and we're gonna go that route for the crazy top 40 of the week at the end of the show. And then we got our first round leader.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to take it home? We almost got Dahman last week.
I know, man. I know.
I've been sick.
So I'll just give like 3 in different tiers. With the favorites, like the 20 to 40 range. Oh, wow. That's eyeing me up. I'm going to say Justin Thomas at 22-1. I could see Sam Burns is a great number, which I actually might play. I don't usually play around first round leaders, but Sam Burns is 40-1, which is a great number.
Yeah, that popped my eye too.
Yeah, that's actually great value. So I would say those two. If we're looking down more at, just throwing darts at the board here, I would say McNealy at 55-1. There's 3. And yeah, I would probably roll with them. And then just at a shot in the dark, where's Tom Hoagy here? I would play him as well at 80-1. So there's 4. I gave him 4. 1, Tom Hoagy, long shot, 80-1. He can. I mean, we've seen him go 9 under first rounds. He loves first rounds. And then I think Sam Burns, I actually might play that. That might be my favorite because, he can get hot at any second. So
this is a guy that has I meant to ask this earlier in the stream. What are you doing with Sepp Straka? He just intrigues the shit out of me because of how far he can hit it and how well he's played recently. Players, he got 9th. Masters, he got 30th. Heritage, he got 3rd. Then he just came off a missed cut. So it's kind of a wild card to me.
Oh, trust me, I was on him last week, and I followed him on when I was there Friday, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, he was a popular play. He was 20% on last week.
Like, I kid you not, like, I'm not even exaggerating. The guy did not make a birdie putt, like, over 15 feet. It was ridiculous. So I don't know. I was a little like he's been playing so well, so you're like, oh, let me ride the hot hand. But I always forget, man. He's a really bad putter. So like this week, it's all about the putting with that guy. Like it kind of like took me back from him a little bit because he legit did not make a putt. It was so bad because I watched like one. I was just getting pissed off, like watching him there.
That's just the guy that I've just been back and forth with. I'm ultimately fading him. I'm not having him in my lineups, anything like that. So I ultimately faded him, but he was a tough cut list for me. But my first round leader, I'm going to take a stab at Cameron Champ at 60-1 or plus 6,000. So we're gonna go that route. I think if he's on, he's going to be on very from the start, like how he was last week or so. And then if I'm going to give out someone closer to the top, maybe Neiman. I'm already on his outright, so I'm going to double up here with the first round leader, maybe 45 plus 4,500. So really like those two for the first round leader.
Yeah, and then I guess just take Straka, whoever's watching, because he'll probably win it. Honestly,
that'll piss me off so much if he does.
Yeah,
because he's been the one. I had Wolf circled and question marked a million times, and then I had Straka right behind him, and I'm like, shit, I don't know what to do these two this week.
I probably should ride him again, but it's just like whatever.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We are going to be back next week. We definitely want you guys here next week as well. PGA Championship. And as always, if you guys have any questions, if you guys are here at the end of the stream, join our free Discord at the link on my link tree as well. We talk all things sports betting, DFS. We shoot the shit all day long. So please feel free to join. It's a free Discord. We're not paying. We're not asking you to pay for that whatsoever. So come on and hang out as well. So, Teaser, any final thoughts, final words? We'll get about out of here.
No, man. Just let's have a good week. I mean, we're all in the same top 20, so let's cash some of those guys, and hopefully one of us can get an outright. I've got 2 this year. I want you to get one soon. Here, it's tough, man.
You'll get one. I need to get one.
Yeah, we'll get one. I think we're gonna get one next week. We're gonna get both of them next week. So
love it. All right. Well, we'll get up and out of here. We appreciate you guys tuning in. See you guys.
See you.